All right, YouTube, cheeky sequence, wasn't it? All of that was shot on this, the iFootage Shark Slider Mini and the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. I will say first off, this is not going to be an in-depth review of every single element and component of this slider. It's more a practical review of having used it for on set for about a year now and looking at some of the pros and cons of using this slider. I will say I've owned and used a bunch of sliders over the years. This one is by far and away my favorite for two reasons. I mean, technically that's four. Firstly, the motorized component is a game changer. Secondly, this pan tilt head, which is also motorized. So let's get into some of the pros and cons of this bad boy. Pros first, I'm a positive sort of person. Firstly, it is very well made and very well designed. It's well thought through, it is sturdy, it's not belt driven, so it is built to last. I've been using it for about a year, so far so good. It's super portable, packs down really small and fits in a little backpack. The modulation is a really lovely touch. At the moment, I've got 2 tracks on here. You can take this one off so that it just goes down to 1 track. You can add another track. You can have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tracks. Basically, it's like ordering fried chicken. You can have a 1-piece, a 2-piece, pretty good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces, maybe a bit much. You can get lovely cinematic dynamic footage from this slider. It's pretty versatile if you've got the motorized slide, the motorized pan tilt head, and you can change the angle of this so that you can get 45-degree shots. It's super versatile. And it's really smooth footage, for the most part, but we'll get to that. The motors are really quiet, so that's really good for interviews. Depending on how close it is to your mic, you're unlikely to be able to hear the motors during interviews. Aside of the motorized element, it's a very good manual slider. If you take the motor off here, add on the flywheel, super smooth movements. I've only ever had to use the manual mode when my batteries have run out, but generally the batteries are pretty good. It takes the little Sony batteries, one in the pan tilt head and one in the slider. Each one lasts about 2 hours. I've got 4 of them, so I can get about 4 hours use out of that. I've only ever had to switch to manual mode if I've been using this thing all day, which for a motorized slider, you don't really need to be using it all day, so it's very rare that I run out of battery. Let's get on to some of the cons. The app is buggy AF, man. When I first got this, I had an iPhone and it was absolutely fine on the iPhone. Then I switched to an Android phone and the Android app just did not work at all. It would connect, but you couldn't do any movements. It was just absolutely useless. If the app doesn't work, it's not a motorized slider. So I went back to using the iPhone for a bit, but then I got a new Android phone and I have to say it works absolutely fine now. So it can be hit and miss with the Android app. I would suggest doing some research as to whether your phone is going to be compatible with the app and whether this slider is going to be the right one for you. It doesn't take a massive payload. I think it's about 1.5 kilos. I use it regularly with my Pocket 4K and my Panasonic 12-35 lens, and it just about takes it. I get some lovely smooth footage most of the time. Sometimes it can struggle a bit. It's nothing that a bit of stabilization in post can't fix. It's just a bit annoying that you have to go that extra step to get the super smooth footage. That said, iFootage do sell a plate that you can buy to lower the center of gravity. I think it's about 45 quid, and it doubles the payload to I think it's about 3 kilograms. I think I'm gonna have to buy one of those plates because at the moment I can't use my Pocket 6K on this rig with my Sigma 18-35 lens. It's just too heavy for it. And I think that's about it. I'm sure there's stuff I've missed. So if you've got any questions about this slider, drop me a line in the comments and I'll try and answer them. Overall, I really love this thing, man. I think I paid about 1,200 quid for it and I think it's totally worth it. There's a few things that are slightly annoying, but once you've got used to them, totally worth it. And some of the footage that you can get from it, if you like this video, then fantastic. Please do give me a like and a subscribe. That's always massively appreciated. And I'll hope to see you in the next one. Peace! Okay, that's just ridiculous. It's not even peace anymore.